Okay, Telugu soldiers. Their movements are sluggish, oftentimes they can be seen mulling about the barracks with little regard for military decorum. When called to attention, their hands draw to their foreheads with just the right amount of delay. Not slow enough to deserve punishment, not fast enough to be a believable display of loyalty. These soldiers are Telugu, not Celtic. You can demand strict discipline, where pop types are soldiers that aren't British and not accept a culture and consciousness above 7, which should probably be everybody. They gain 2 militancy and lose 1 consciousness. We can demand the strictest discipline. They gain lots of militancy and lose 3 consciousness. So basically choosing whether you want to press the matter or not. I like picking bad ones sometimes. Let's pick the bad one. Just for fun. Say we had a governor who was like really a dick about it. Okay, this is a Suez Canal event. Use of dredges. At first, digging the Suez Canal was done the same way as thousands of years ago, with forced labor, which is not really true because we don't have slavery in our empire. Later, dredges took over when one was discovered. It was cheaper to artificially flood the terrain and dredge the canal instead of dry excavation. So we gained 100 research points. That's cool. Okay, some interesting stuff has happened. The Papal States are now in the sphere of influence of Sardinia-Piedmont, so how the mighty have fallen. Austria-Hungary is, you know, in the little culture war between Rome and Sardinia-Piedmont. I don't even care about that. But, yeah, the Burmese have beaten the Guangxi clique and taken some of their land. And Siam is now in the war as well. I don't know if they're at war with anybody else. But, no, just Siam right now. They seem to be getting hit the hardest. But, yeah, basically we just need to see... They're not actually that much in infamy. So they might go to war with more people. And they're allied with Mongolia. That's interesting. Okay. I think I made them start that way, though. So that's it for now. Okay. Looks like Bengal has had another bite taken out of it. And Awad, however you pronounce that, has taken their Delhi region, which basically cuts them in half now. So it looks like India is being divided up. Not by me this time either. We also had this happen again. I'll take the consciousness again. Okay, Russia has annexed Khiva. So this is this little part of land left. And nobody can colonize it yet, so it's still open. Russia gets stronger. Pressing concerns. So it is now with renewed force that I restate the conundrum of mine that is yet to garner any sort of response from this chamber. What is to be done about the issue of the press reform? Me, and many of my colleagues with me, have long argued that the time for reform is now, and yet this session has remained entirely unwilling to commit even an answer, much less a policy. Reform-minded members of Parliament, MPs in Parliament, have reformed in a new coalition to push the agenda for press reform, capitalizing on popular sentiment for freedom of expression. The Liberals are gaining strength in the upper house. We can say motion carries or motion dismissed. Basically shows how many Liberals we get in our upper house. Let's take a look at our politics screen. We don't really have that many Liberals in our upper house. I'm not really at the point where I really want the Liberals to start winning yet, though. So we'll get a few more. Yeah. It's not too bad. We'll probably still win the next election for Conservatives. But our plurality is going up, so that's good. We don't really have any things for this yet, but we have to raise our consciousness and our militancy to raise these. So, yeah. Okay, we got this again, and an interesting development that Newfoundland is now in the sphere of New England. So just Canada, Quebec, California, and Mexico to go before they can do whatever, and then they have to get to all this. But I'll probably fix that. That's kind of unreasonable. So we got another thing for the African minor soldiers. I think again I'm going to pick. I'll pick the militancy one again. Get a lot of militancy. It's fine. Okay, so we have an event, and we have a couple of decisions we can do. The Treaty of Waitangi. A treaty formalizing the nation of New Zealand was signed, wherein the Maori chiefs recognized their sovereignty of Her Majesty Queen Victoria, and in turn she guaranteed the chiefs their lands, estates, forests, and fisheries. We'll say, hooray! Everywhere as Maori loses one militancy. Okay, we also have a couple of decisions. We can make a lavish exhibition where we lose 50,000 pounds. We gain 42 prestige, and we can't do it again until 1854. We can also do a national conference where we lose 25 prestige, but gain 961 almost research points. That is excellent. We're going to do that. Make a shit ton of that. And then to balance that out, we could do this, but I'm not too worried about the prestige right now. So yeah. That's pretty good. One of the things I want to do is I want to restore the Academia before the game gets too far. I should have done this at the very beginning of the game, but I should probably just do it now and cut my losses. That way I will get out of the penalties sooner and just basically have normal. And I'm just not going to do the rest of the thing. Although I do have enough money. Whatever. Fuck it. Let's do it. Yeah. Lavish whatever we're doing. Thing. And our budget's doing pretty good. Try to keep everything about 33. As you can see, I've reduced my rich taxes down to 10%, the lowest possible, because that encourages capitalists and, well, I don't really care about aristocrats, but capitalists. One of the things I want to do is raise my defense spending to about 65. That way it'll encourage more officers and soldiers. You could put it all the way up to 100% and then starve the crap out of your laborers and farmers to get more soldiers, but I don't really need more soldiers right now. I have a shit ton of soldiers right now. I'm leaving my tariffs at 20% because it's giving me a significant amount of money, although this is giving me the most. You still want to keep your taxes low because it makes your people more productive, which is more important than getting the money. Money is not as big of an issue in Pop Demand mod, but yeah, it's still kind of a balancing act. And looks like Brittany has had some problems with their factory, so let's take a look at that. That would be under B. Stupid. It looks like they've got... Oh, they don't have a proper factory. And I can't build them one. I can. Hey, reactionaries, let's go. So I can build factories. Donk. Yeah. Ooh, steel factory. Hells yes. Okay. What else? Potu. I missed it. Oh, they're building a bronze factory. That's almost done. Okay. Okay, cool. And then... Oh, actually. Whatever. just wanted that to happen. So yeah, it's a little micromanagement. Okay, because I triggered an election, we get a religious policy debate. Secularization is not one of our important things. But maybe it should be. Although this will make moralism people mad. Oh well, pluralism is good. Let's just do that. Also, I have a thing to repeal the corn laws. Let's see, what does it do? It gives us a 5% maximum tariff. That's fine, we're not running at maximum tariffs. Minus 0.02 militancy and plus 0.5 consciousness. And all pops lose 1 militancy and gain 1 consciousness. And this lasts until 1850. So, do it. Why isn't it doing? Maybe I'm actually not allowed to do it. No? Maybe not until the end of the election. We'll find out. Alright, and we've succeeded in colonizing the rest of British Columbia. So, what I'm gonna do is, because I don't have a national focus set there anymore, I'm going to check to see if there's anywhere else that has a... Oh, I can colonize this. But this isn't cord to Columbia. So yeah, we want to put our national focus here. That means New Zealand's going to be done soon. Or soon enough. And our rifles are going to be done quite sooner than we expected because of that decision. So, yeah, we're not going to lose very much time on that one tech at all. And we got an invention, zinc alloys. Zinc, also known as spelter, is incredibly useful in the creation of many alloys. Methods of creating those alloys have advanced our production of bronze. Bronze production upward, plus 10%. That's really good. More stuff. Okay. My four walls and nobody cares. Minorities in Celtic Nagpur region are starting to gather in protest of their right to own property. Dishonest landowners in the state have repeatedly abused the minorities by collecting rent and evicting them on false charges. The minorities have little legal recourse as to their rights, as their rights are almost non-existent. Recently, a family of immigrants who were wrongly evicted from their residence died from exposure during an extremely cold night. In India? Whatever. Newspapers have picked up on the story and are inflaming public opinion against our residency laws. We could let the anti-residency sentiments grow, or we could pay off some newspapers and run an opposing story detailing the uncouth and devious nature of the minorities' culture. Well, I don't want too much militancy. Let's do these people who are humans and deserve rights. They'll get 2 militancy in people who support residency. Doesn't look like a whole lot. Actually, most people support full citizenship of the of that. Only 2% would be mad by this, so we're gonna do this. Okay. So, yeah. And we got another organic work event, and this is in Gulbara. So we will support the movement. That's good. This probably isn't good. Aristocrats incite the peasantry, so take arms, impoverished, starved, and hungry brethren of Klerksdorp. So that's in South Africa. I believe. In the name of our Lord and in defense of eternal rights, let's drive the occupiers out of our native land. Oh, okay, it's a nationalist thing. Local aristocrats in Klerksdorp are arguing revolution against our rule. We can confront them now. Then again, it might be better to wait for another opportunity. Consciousness gain for 3, for we will not promote the by this drivel for aristocrats and farmers gain 2 militancy. We could crush the revolters and all aristocrat populations change by minus 10% and they gain 8 militancy. That is just basic militancy, so this will raise this to 11. So, right. That's the only reasonable choice there. Oh man. Pause. I got a Farmers Bank event in Mombasa. I don't really need the money. Let's gain 2 consciousness. Saber rattling in Celtic Lengay region. A decorated and highly ranking officer of Celtic Lengay region has started to complain in public regarding his perceived lack of proper arms and supplies allocated to the military. He mingles his complaints with reminiscences of national glory and personal valor on faraway battlefields. His voice carries great weight in both the military and general public. To let him continue, the state will undoubtedly become more jingoistic. Jingoism is actually one of our high things, so we can force him into early retirement, and our soldiers and officers gain militancy. I think they'd be pretty militant anyway, being military guys, but yeah. Or we can make them 30% in favor of jingoism, so we'll do that, that's fine. But, more interestingly, Canada is now in the sphere of New England. So, let's check them out. And you can see here, Bohemia Moravia has kicked the Roman Empire down to number 3. So, because of this, their massive industrial score, as is usual. Their military score is not that impressive, but it's managed to overcome their advantage in prestige. So this is what we're looking at, yeah. And they're almost... they're probably going to sphere California and Quebec soon, too, so, yeah. And they started working on USCA in Brazil. What's Mexico doing? Are they in somebody else's sphere? No. So we'll see about that. Maybe they plan to declare war on them or something. I don't know. But we might see this sooner than I was expecting, because they're all getting along, apparently. I set them to have some lower dispositions, but they must be using all their shit to do it. Okay, so we have completed muzzle-loading rifles, which allows the construction of engineers and a +1 attack to our armies and plus 20% supply consumption for our armies, which is going to strain our economy slightly, but probably not a whole lot. So, since it is 1840, we can research idealism, which is a good idea. It also gives us these event stuff here. We could also do ideological thought, which also unlocks in 1840. I think I'm still going to do idealism first, and then do ideological thought. And then I'll start working on probably some more industrial techs to keep my industrial score high. Okay, Sardinia Piedmont is asking for military access from me. I don't know why I would ever do this. So I'm going to decline, because they are assholes. Looks like Rome is getting some provinces away from them, but this big stack army is over here making their armies retreat and stuff. And I don't know what else they're doing around here, so we'll just have to see how that turns out. It doesn't look like Rome's making much headway, though. I might want to get... well, I don't really want to get involved. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea, because I don't really have any casus bellis against them. I imagine that if Rome really needed help, they would call me into conflict. So, whatever. But they're losing pretty bad right now. Rome is. Okay, another immigration thing. Current inflow of immigrants has created a demand for more jobs. Advocates of immigrant rights demand that newly naturalized citizens be accorded the same rights as residents by birth. The situation has become a topic of debate in the local election. And this is in Giza. So, where do the people stand already? Residency is the highest, it looks like. And full citizenship is 2%, 2.6%. So, yeah, okay. Say they have no right to demand anything. And, limited citizenship would gain 2.2 militancy. It looks like residency is the highest anyway. Yeah, let's just do that. Because the higher, I mean, the more citizenship policy you get, the better citizenship policy you get, the more what's it called? The more immigrants you'll get. So, yeah. Colonial policy debated. And while I fully respect my colleague from the loyal opposition, I still cannot help but to question his motives in again and again bringing up the subject of the expenses of the colonial office. Colonies are a cornerstone of government policy and worth paying for. The colonies are making headlines in the Celtic Union again, following a fierce debate in the upper house. Members of the opposition have argued in favor of a reduction of the budget allotted to the colonial office, and both they and the majority of members of parliament have conducted major offensives in the upper house to try and convince swing voters and aisle crossers to come out in support of their respective policies. If say conservative arguments prevail, came up to 5 conservatives in the upper house and gained 5.25 prestige, or let liberal arguments prevail and 5 liberal in the upper house. This is basically pro colony because it gets prestige, and colonies give you prestige. So we're going to do that to get prestige. Okay, another one of these continent events. Where does it give it to us? Occitania? Okay. Cool. Okay, Brazil is asking for military access from us, and I'm not sure why. Oh, because we have a colony. Do we? No, I don't. Ooh, and it looks like, Sardinia Piedmont actually captured something over here. Oh, that's where a lot of their troops are in their colony over here. I don't know why they would want military access from us. Looks like they captured most of Papal Guyana. But, maybe to get to this place? I don't know. I'm gonna decline. They have no reason to want that. And Andalusia is at war with Algeria, so that's interesting. Okay, so the Russian Empire is now allied with the Netherlands. We have a heated debate in the Route region about trade. Most of these are pretty much the same, so I'm just going to kind of show the choices. Protectionism, I don't know. I like doing the middle ones on these because it basically gives a good spread. But now California Republic, which is one of our allies, is now in the sphere of New England. So just Quebec and Mexico to go before they have something else. They don't seem to be working on Mexico though, which is weird. But we'll see about that. Okay, well it looks like the Roman Empire has given up and gotten a white peace from Sardinia Piedmont. So that was the first major conflict in which Rome has lost. May not be the last. Okay, highly respected university professor has written an increasingly influential theory supporting laissez-faire economic policy. His theory has gained many supporters from the artisans of the state who feel threatened by government ties to factory owners. Through our contacts, we have learned that this man is a secret homosexual. We could use this against him publicly, but doing so will anger the artisans and atheists of the state. We could say his private affairs are none of our business, and all pops in Kuwait are in favor of laissez-faire, and in Kuwait, all artisans are 30% in favor. You could say, contact the newspaper immediately. All artisans and atheism people gain militancy, 2 for artisans and 3 for atheists. We could throw him in jail for deviant behavior. All atheists in Kuwait, artisans in Kuwait gain 3 militancy. Atheism gains 4 militancy, and the percentage of people in support moralism lose 1 militancy. Let's see. We have quite a lot of artisans here, so whatever we would be doing would be pissing off the artisans. So atheism probably, yeah, it's the lowest on the list, and moralism is actually pretty high. So I don't know. Let's do this to avoid problems. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now the Pope wants military access, so we're going to give that to them. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Discriminatory school system. Schools in Zanzibar are heavily geared towards supporting the small British minority there, and as a result, our African minor citizens feel oppressed. While allowing some temporary leniency in these policies could be beneficial to our technological progress, it could also be a seed of African minor revolution and be an end to our rule here. We can mitigate the policy slightly and gain 193 research points, so we'll make up for a little bit of loss that we've had with idealism for not being in it. Not a whole lot, though. And they will gain 3 consciousness and gain 1 militancy. We could keep them ignorant, and they will lose that much research points. I'm going to mitigate the policies, get a little bit of tech. It doesn't really do a whole lot anyway, so not in the short term anyway. Long term, that sort of thing does build up. Don't get me wrong. Okay, a militarism thing. I'm going to pick jingoism, because I like jingoism. It's awesome. Also, it is the highest of the 2 options here, so whatever. Oh, the Russian Empire broke their alliance with Rome, and Quebec is now in the sphere of New England. So they need to get this. Actually, no, these are not cores, so they don't need to get that. They're already colonizing this, and yeah, just the rest of this, I guess, basically. Oh, and Mexico, obviously. We'll see if they actually do anything about that. Doesn't look like it. Not yet, at least. Okay. Canada's broken their military access thing. I don't really care. But another medicine discovery. Pressure chambers for thorax surgery. When doing thorax surgery, a big problem has been the oxygen of the bloodstream. But doing them in a pressure chamber reduces the risk of hazard diminished considerably. So we get some prestige. Cool. Okay, it looks like Rome is now allied with Scandinavia instead of Russia. So they're still, on our side on an alliance. So whatever. Okay, it looks like Algiers has been reduced to a tiny rump state by Andalusia here. So we'll see how that ends up. Annals of Nuba History. A historian of some renown has published a book on Nuba history in Kadukli. This book has the potential to become fairly explosive stuff among the Nuba minority. If we are in position to exert some influence over its distribution, if we could curtail the distribution, Only the higher classes will have access to the book. On the other hand, if we do not curtail the distribution, then the book will probably be instead see its biggest viewership among the middle class, readership among the middle class. How should we proceed? Curtail distributions, and aristocrats and capitalists gain 3 consciousness in Caducally. Could pressure governments to stop it. And clerks and craftsmen getting consciousness. Probably this is better. So.